Now to officially start our meeting, Commissioner Batchelor, would you lead us to pledge allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First thing on our agenda this morning is item B, approval regular session minutes of April 7th, 2021. Board, we received these in advance. Is there any corrections or changes?
None.
Hearing none, call for a motion. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second? Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes. This morning, we have on item C, a proclamation. This is designation of April 18th through the 24th, 2021 as National Crime Victims' Rights Week. And this morning, we have with us Stephanie Ross, Program Director and and Victim Advocate. And we have Mark DeColby, our prosecutor. If you want to join me kind of close to the podium this morning. But we still keep our distance, as we all know.
Well, before we do this, I have another proclamation. We wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you very much. Now I know the connections. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a proclamation this morning for the National Crime Victims' Rights Week, April 18th through 2020, 18th through the 24th, 2021. Whereas in 2020, during unprecedented times, the Clermont County Prosecutor's Office provided services to over 2,200 victims of reported crime in Clermont County with the support of the YWCA, law enforcement, and other local victim service providers. Whereas since the passage of the Victims of Crime Act of 1984 and through the dedicated work of victim advocates and allied professionals, there is a growing array of services and resources available to crime victims and their families. And whereas honoring the rights of the crime victims, including the rights to be heard, to be treated with fairness, dignity, and respect, and with the understanding that identifying, reaching, and serving all victims of crime is essential to supporting communities. Whereas we use this week to celebrate the accomplishments of our local victim service providers and the crime victim rights movement, all achieved through compassion and collaboration. Whereas National Crime Victims' Rights Week provides an opportunity to ensure that accessible, appropriate, and trauma-informed services are offered to all victims of crime. And whereas the Clermont County Prosecutor's Office is dedicated to support victims and survivors in the aftermath of crime, building trust and security among our citizens, collaborating with other victim service providers, and engaging our community in response efforts. Now, therefore, we, the Board of the Clermont County Commissioners, do proclaim the week of April 18th through the 24th, 2021 as the National Crime Victims' Rights Week in Clermont County, Ohio, and all citizens of the Clermont County to take time to honor crime victims and those that serve them during this week and throughout the year. And this proclamation is brought to you by Claire B. Corcoran, myself as president, David L. Painter, vice president, Bonnie Batchelor, member of the Clermont County Board of County Commissioners. Today, we present this to Stephanie Ross, the program director and victim advocate, and Mark DeColby, the prosecutor. And we thank you for joining us this morning. And if either one of you have any words, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Podium's yours.
I just would like briefly to talk about, thank you for doing this. We do this every year and it's greatly appreciated among our office and the citizens throughout the county. We are experiencing a decrease in funding, which I think is important to talk about now. 3 years ago, our funding was decreased by 7%, which was something that was very bearable. Last year, we experienced a 40% increase across the board. This year, we're looking at a 30% increase across the board. That's for the Victims of Crime Act funding that's on a national level. So that is something to consider across the country. But I would like for you to know that so far this year, we have already served 826 citizens of this county, 492 of them being new victims of crime since January 1 of 2021. And just to highlight just a couple of those things, 64 cases were assault cases and Domestic violence, 140 cases. That was new cases since January 1. 110 new cases of theft. 11 new cases of survivors of homicide victims. So the work we do is very important in the county. So just thank you for doing that today.
Thank you.
I would like to personally thank Stephanie for the work that she does. She has been intimately involved with the Victim of Crime Act and working as the victim witness assistance in the prosecutor's office for 18 years. She does a wonderful job, and the importance of this job is when folks are victims of crime, they're at their lowest. They're frightened. They're filled with anxiety, and victim witness advocates like Stephanie and those in our office are able to come in and help guide those folks through a very difficult and traumatic time. And thank you for your proclamation today. We appreciate it.
We'd like to thank both of you for your service to this county. And Stephanie, thank you for all you do. And it's good to see you at least once a year up here. I know you're very busy.
Stephanie and Mark, thanks for everything you do. And specifically, thanks for, the outreach that you do with people who've experienced being a victim and them coming back and speaking and raising the awareness, throughout our county of really what it's like to be serviced as a crime victim and then to recover, or as much as you can recover from being a victim of crime, and getting to hear that. I think that as a new commissioner, the very first banquet that I went to and I got an opportunity to hear about that, it raises your educational level so much of what goes on that may not have ever affected you. So it just makes you aware of those who do suffer in that circumstance, and thanks for making their lives better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you. Good morning to both of you. Moving on our agenda to item D, consent agenda has been prepared for us and we've had time to review it. Is there a motion to approve consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion this morning? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes. Item E, non-consent agenda, starts on page 2 with item number 4.
Commissioners, item 4 is training and travel, and it's for Commissioner Painter's travel to 3 days to Batavia, Ohio, for the Ohio Association of County Behavioral Health Authorities, the 2021 Opiate and Other Drugs Conference. Expenses not to exceed $250.
Hearing the reading of item number 4, I will make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Abstain.
Now, are there any additions this morning to the agenda?
Amen.
There are none, so we'll move to item G. Item G is executive session. I'm asking for a motion to approve to go into executive session pursuant to section 121.22 G1 and G3 of the Ohio Revised Code to number 1, consider the dismissal of a public employee, and number 2, confer with the prosecuting attorney concerning disputes involving the public body that are the subject of pending or imminent court action, respectively. Do I have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes, we're now going into executive session and we will return shortly. Thank you. We've returned from executive session. No decisions were made. We are proceeding on with our agenda this morning. Moving to item H, county staff, elected officials discussions. Do we have anyone on viewing? No one, no reports this morning. Moving to item I, member comments. Members, any comments this morning?
No.
Hope it doesn't rain.
Okay, that was a good one. I have a bad feeling it's failing. It will rain. All right. Hearing no other comments this morning, could I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Call the roll, please.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes.
Commissioner Batchelor,
Yes.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes, thank you for joining us today. And don't forget, this is the April 18th through the 24th is the National Crime Victims' Rights Week in Clermont County, Ohio. We thank all those who serve. Thank you.